Hi, beautiful people. It's Wonderful Wednesday. I'm April Roll, your ER doctor online, and May is Mental Health Month. In this video, I want to talk to you about self awareness. This is something that is so extremely important to your mental health. Self awareness can be described as conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. The reason that this is very important to mental health is because, just like the saying goes, the first step to solving a problem is admitting you have a problem. The same way that that saying goes is the same way that you have to actually know what things affect your mental health and self awareness in order to take care of your mental health and actually be self aware. So, a lot of people, actually, in my experience, I have found that a lot of people lack self awareness because it's not the same as, like, you may hear someone say, like, I know myself, or I would never do something like that, or I'm this type of person, or I'm that type of person, or I'm not this type of person, I'm not that type of person. That's only one layer of knowing oneself and being self-aware. That's part of knowing your character. But self-awareness, as I stated before, it has a lot more that is involved with self-awareness. So when you are trying to take care of your mental health and be self-aware, you are looking at all of these things: your character, your feelings, your motives, why you do certain things, why you behave the way you behave, what is it that is causing you to behave in certain ways, and what are your desires, what are your dreams, what are your goals in life, who do you want to be every day. Those are things that all go with your self-awareness. And with all those things, again, those things affect your mental health. Honoring your self awareness, so knowing whether or not you're happy or sad, and really being true to that, honoring that is self care. So, for instance, if you're overwhelmed, you're stressed out, whatever the case may be, actually knowing that will help your mental health. Because, for instance, if you're one of those kind of people who you have trouble saying no, for whatever reason, you have trouble saying no when you're asked to do something, take on some type of responsibility, you're asked to do a task, you're even something as simple as you're invited to an event, I mean, pandemic aside, you're invited to an event or a party or this or that, something that's supposed to be fun, and you deep down really don't want to go for whatever reason. You want to take a me time break, or you're stressed, or you just have other things to do, but you say yes anyway. That is something along the lines, again, of being very self aware and knowing yourself, your feelings, your goals, your desires, and knowing that saying no sometimes is absolutely okay. Because why? You're keeping yourself in alignment. You actually want to say no anyway, for whatever type of reason. Your feelings are not aligned with what that person is asking you to do, and so you say no because you're self-aware, and that helps your mental health. There is a quote that Gandhi says, and it basically says, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. And again, it's the same exact thing. When you're self aware, your feelings, your actions, your how you move, and what you do, your behaviors, all of those are in harmony, And when you are in harmony, you're aligned, your mental health is aligned, and you are in a good state mentally. So I wanted to just kind of point those things out to you because a lot of the time some people will have certain feelings that are not in line with their thoughts or their morals or whatever the case may be, and they feel in complete discord. Everything is just, they may feel anxious, but it's because you're not aligned. Your thoughts, your actions, what you're doing, what you're feeling, your behaviors, they're not in harmony, and that plays with your mental health, okay? You can't be happy if you are not in one accord with all of these aspects of the self. And honoring the self is an act of self care. Some tips that I have for you in terms of being able to be more self aware so that you can take better care of your mental health include self reflection. Now, self reflection is key, okay? Take some time, think about, any it could be anything. I mean, right now I'm only able to think of something that may be bothering you or something that may have made you feel sad or angry. Take some time, think about it. How did you feel? What kind of behaviors came out of those emotions? And as you kind of become better at doing this, because this is a practice, it's not something you're like, oh, I aced self awareness, moving on. No, this is something that is a daily practice that you will have to be aware of self. I completely almost lost my train of thought, but self-reflection is big. And the bigger thing about self-reflection is you have to be objective. Obviously, when speaking about yourself, you may be a little biased because nobody wants to be wrong or in the wrong or caused any wrong doing against someone else. But when you are reflecting on yourself and trying to increase your self-awareness, you got to be objective, okay? Because if something you did was in the wrong, or whatever type of feeling you had makes you feel uncomfortable, you have to still address it if you want to be more self-aware, and if you want to take better care of your mental health. You have to address it. You can't just avoid it if you want to actually better yourself. So self-reflection and being completely objective with yourself. Another thing that would help is journaling, writing things down on paper or iPad, computer, whatever the case may be, writing the things down. That will help you as well. As you do this as a practice, you'll be able to notice some patterns. And if you do notice patterns in the future, when you're presented with a similar type of situation, you can already know, I tend to do this when XYZ happens, which is not good for me, or which is good for me. So you can learn from previous experiences because you've been journaling, you've been self-reflecting, and you've been being very objective about it. Another thing that you can do, obviously, this would always help, is when you talk about this with people you trust. That could include family, friends, a therapist. These people, talking about your feelings, your self-awareness, your mental health with these people will also help you to improve your self-awareness, because again, with objectivity, it would be easier for someone to point something out to you. And I'm telling you, coming from a place of love only, don't do this with anybody. It's have to be somebody you love and trust. But they can point out things that you probably couldn't see yourself. So that is my information, tips, and everything I have to say. Actually, I have a lot more to say or that I could say about self awareness and mental health, but that is all that I'm dropping in this video. If you learned something or you like this, please share this video. If you have any comments about the video or you want to submit a topic or something for me to talk about in another Wonderful Wednesday video, put that in the comment section below. But other than that, I would like to thank you for spending this wonderful Wednesday with me. Be blessed and stay healthy.